They didn't fear guns. They feared black men with guns. America's always had two stories, one written in ink and one written in blood. For black Americans, freedom wasn't handed down, it was fought for. And too often, the fight was without protection, without recourse, and without a gun. If you're black in America and you believe in your right to life, liberty, and self-defense, then the Second Amendment isn't just important, it's essential. In this episode, we're going to talk about why. From the very beginning, gun control in this country wasn't about safety. It was about control, specifically controlling black people. Slave codes banned black gun ownership before the Civil War. Post-Civil War, black codes continued the practice. Even during Reconstruction, armed black men were hunted for daring to protect their families. So slave codes banned black gun ownership before the Civil War. From the 1600s on, laws were written to keep black people free or enslaved unarmed. Disarmament was the first step toward domination. Post-Civil War black codes continued the practice even after emancipation, all right? Southern states have passed laws banning freed men from owning guns, using the legal system to keep them powerless. Even during Reconstruction, armed black men were hunted. Black communities that tried to defend themselves were met with violence, arrest, and lynch mobs, often with the law's blessing. They didn't fear guns. They feared black men with guns. They don't teach you this in school, but the civil rights movement didn't survive on nonviolence alone. The Deacons for Defense protected Freedom Riders for Klan attacks. MLK himself applied for a concealed carry permit and his home was bombed, and he was denied. Robert F. Williams promoted armed self-defense years before the Panthers. And the Black Panther Party armed patrols led to California passing the Mulford Act to ban open carry. All right, so the Deacons for Defense protected Freedom Riders from Klan attacks. They were armed black men who defended civil rights workers when no one else would, all right? They didn't ask permission, they protected their people. MLK applied for a concealed carry permit and was denied. Even MLK Jr., a man preaching nonviolence, saw the need for a firearm because he knew prayer wasn't bulletproof. Robert F. Williams promoted armed self-defense years before the Panthers, all right? Williams openly rejected turning the other cheek and called on black Americans to fight back if attacked. This message made him a target. The Black Panthers armed patrol led to California banning open carry. Once black men legally exercised open carry rights, lawmakers panicked and rewrote the laws almost overnight. This was not a coincidence. The same lawmakers that are screaming about gun violence today were writing laws to keep black folks disarmed back then. Remember that. Fast forward to today, black gun ownership is growing faster than any other group in America. But being armed and black, that's still viewed as suspicious or dangerous or criminal. Legal concealed carriers like Philando Castile still get killed. Black open carry advocates are treated differently than white ones. The media still depicts black gun ownership through a crime lens. All right, so legal concealed carriers like Philando Castile still get killed even when they do everything by the book, all right? We're still seen as a threat. Philando was licensed and still lost his life. Black open carry advocates are treated differently than the white ones. When white guys carry rifles, it's patriotism. When black guys do it, it's called an incident. The media still depicts black gun ownership through a crime lens. Our community is shown holding illegal guns in rap videos, but never highlighted in the range, in training, or protecting their families. Never. Firearm ownership without education is just a loaded risk, all right? But once we teach our communities how to train, how to carry, and how to think defensively, we turn fear into freedom. Safety and responsibility reduce fear. When we understand how to safely handle and store firearms, we reduce accidents and give our communities power through knowledge. And knowledge breaks stereotypes, all right? Every round you send down range, every course you complete, it chips away at the lie that we're reckless or criminals or just because we're armed. And don't forget, education leads to confidence and better legal outcomes, all right? Knowing your rights, understanding the law, and being trained could save your life or keep you out of jail. We protect ourselves and the next generation, all right? This is legacy work. What you do today with your firearm knowledge shapes what your children grow to believe is possible and necessary. All right, so let me make this plain. The Second Amendment is not about deer hunting. It's about resistance to tyranny. And if there's any group in America that's ever had to fight tyranny, it's us. So the Second Amendment is about personal sovereignty, all right? It's not about sport shooting. It's about control over your own life and liberty. Nobody gets to decide if you live or die but you. Disarmament is a common precursor to oppression. From dictatorship to slavery, history is clear. Disarm the people and you control the people. All right, so gun rights are civil rights, all right, full stop, all right? If the right to vote is sacred, so is the right to defend yourself. The Second Amendment isn't optional for Black Americans, it's essential. You can't be truly free if you can't defend yourself. And history proves that Black freedom has always required both courage and firepower. Don't let anyone shame you out of your rights. Learn the law, train, get armed, stay ready. So subscribe to follow the rest of the Black and Gun series. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What was your first experience with guns like? Let me know. All right, share this with someone who needs to hear it. The links are down in the description. All right, we'll see you guys on the next one.